2-hour zone 2 study today, and actually heading to the gym this evening for the first session of my strength block that I'm going to be starting the next 8 weeks during Zwift Academy to hopefully it'll coincide with improving my sprint, but I've been wanting to get some strength stuff done, so that'll be good. Feeling a little bit snivelly today, so might be a hold coming on, but be sensible over the next few days, and hopefully I can just keep that at bay and it doesn't become anything. Got ill early on last year doing Zwift Academy, so maybe it's a trend. Another 2-hour zone 2, actually doing the exact same loop as yesterday. Expected a little bit of DOMs from the gym yesterday, as I haven't been hitting the gym. I've been hitting the gym at maintenance for like 6 months, and I'm starting a new strength block. A bit DOMsy, but yeah, not too bad, and a good set of 4x10, 100 kg for deadlifts, and then 2 sets of heavy-ish squats, 2x7 and 90. So yeah, looking forward to hitting the gym again, because I haven't done strength block in God, like almost coming on 2 years, you know. It's like easing into my off season before I take my off season break. As like I'm hitting the gym, testosterone is going to go up from putting heavy shit on my back, and like lumbar flexion of the spine. Finish with racing, but I'm wanting to get Zwift Academy done, and I've got a few more workouts to do. So I'm like holding on to as much form as possible from my nationals prep, but then also like easing off the training and increasing this gym volume and planning out how I want to attack the rest of the off season, the base season, and yeah, having lots of ideas about how to basically. I think I want to really focus on my sprint and those anaerobic efforts, because I think that's going to be something that could set me apart in the road races next year. Pretty chill week so far. We have a bit of a rest week, and I'm expecting the gym volume to hit me like a ton of bricks. That's a sanity check to see that the ice vest actually does something. Decided to warm up without the ice vest today for today's session. Normally by the end of the warm up I'm at 38.1 degrees. I've just done my ramp, got a couple of sprints to go before I'm finished. I'm already at 38.7. Like, that's a lot higher. Even though it's like a cheap ice vest that's probably not as good as the one the pros use, where it's got loads of little packets and better contours to the body, like, clearly still does work. That's interesting to see. Just a threshold session today. Going to do 1 by 40 minutes. Definitely feeling the DOMs from Monday. Legs are feeling pretty tired during the warm up, but I'll have a crack at this session. Like, it's a bit of a rest week, like with introducing the gym volume. I don't want to do any Zwift Academy workouts this week, which has definitely been the right call, because my legs aren't going to be good for it. So yeah, do a couple of threshold sessions this week, and see how those go, just to maintain the fitness, and then hopefully recover from the DOMs next week and crack on with a couple more of the Zwift Academy workouts. But if the DOMs subsist, then I'll push them back another week, because I've got plenty of time to complete the Academy workouts. Just making sure I'm in good shape for all of them, really. And hopefully this gym volume will improve my ability to do the sprints. I'm going to be working on the sprint stuff, so yeah, we'll see how that goes. 38.8, Jesus, what the fuck? I'm cooking. Okay, maybe the core sensor's off today. Yeah, I'm not at 39.5, like, yeah, that's completely off the mark. That's weird. Or if I am, I'm the most heat adapted person on the fucking planet. I think it disconnected from my heart rate. Shot up to like 39.5 and now it's just plummeted back to 38 high. The body temperature from the core sensor is based off an algorithm based on your skin temperature and your heart rate. For a reason the heart rate dropped out from connected to the core sensor, so it was doing it based off purely skin temperature. Maybe I can survive a higher skin temperature than most, so it just shot the fuck up. Yeah, it's back down to normal now. Just about to start my 40-minute threshold effort. See how it goes. Forgot to turn on my second fan and bump up the other fan and get my towel on my bike, so I was a bit too sweaty, so just breaking it down into 2 by 20 minutes instead of 1 by 40. Yeah, it's not sub-maximal anyway, so but yeah, I was feeling alright, just cooking a bit. Could have made it like a full-on heat session, but no, I'd rather not. It's already warm enough, like another 20 minutes and I'd be absolutely roasting, so yeah, just turn the fan on now, 6-minute rest or so, and then do another 20-minute effort. Still cooking. Second 20-minute effort done. That was good. Yeah, surprisingly good session considering how stiff my legs felt at the start, so yeah, good to get that done. Let's finish off this route that I'm on. Look at that jersey. Still king. It's Thursday, just a rest day today, so 1 hour recovery ride spin, just doing it on the trainer. DOMS is starting to go away. Actually, was at the gym yesterday and did some snatching, just doing some snatching because it would have been too much volume to do some Olympic lifting during my strength session on Monday, so slotted in that a lot of time on Wednesdays to do a little bit of ollie lifting because I like it. Looking forward to be back in the gym and seeing how that goes over the next few weeks and months. Next 7.5 weeks doing gym stuff, then I'll take my off-season break, and then November, December when I start training again, I'm still going to be hitting the gym pretty hard, so getting used to that stimulus now, and then hopefully can progress more in the gym, and hopefully that boosts my numbers on the bike, but might have to be quite strategic about it. The base theory would be get strong in the gym, use that strength to get better at doing high torque work, and use that high torque work to convert into max efforts, like the anaerobic stuff, but that's just theory. Yeah, I can see it working. Like that's why I'm going to try it. Just hopping off now. And the weather looks extremely calm tomorrow, so I'm thinking I might want to do some aero testing of the TT bike before I start making changes. My speed plate pedals are actually meant to arrive tomorrow, so I might want to do some baseline testing, try and get a CDA measurement on a reliable bit of road with low wind conditions, see if I can get the hang of like the chung method and doing some changes and seeing how they affect my CDA. So yeah, just creating the segment on Strava. So I haven't really got many good roads to do it on, but this is like a quiet stretch of road here where, because ideally it needs to be no wind, smooth road, I guess, and no traffic. And if I go at around lunchtime, there's a good chance I could get a good amount of runs in with no traffic on this road. It's not super long, but it's like a steady 1-2% drag uphill, but should be able to I'll be in position the whole time, and that's absolutely fine. It's an easy road to do it on, and then could do it going down the hill as well. So maybe like 300 watts uphill, 200 watts downhill. So I'm creating this first segment for the uphill segment because I think that's going to be the most valuable because it'll be a bit longer. So yeah, just starting the segment from like the start of the Free Merry Lads car park. So like get up to speed coming along this road here, and then the segment will start like as I pass the tree line. It's like halfway into the car park section here, and then for the end of the segment, it's like the second driveway of of someone's house. Keep going along the road, go past the horse jumping area, I guess that's what they use it for. So there's a first driveway and then there's a second driveway. So go past the first driveway just next to the horse area, and then the second driveway here. So it's like 2 key points. I'll know when the segment starts and stops. But yeah, I should be able to do it in both directions. But going in going uphill in this direction, then going back the opposite way, it's net downhill. So yeah, take the segment, have a go at it tomorrow. Just see if I can get the hang of this testing stuff and if it's going to be useful. Useful way to actually detect if changes are being valuable. So yeah, that'll be interesting. There we go. Aero test west, which is the uphill segment, and then aero test east, which is the downhill segment. So I reckon maybe 300 watts uphill, 200 watts downhill, because I want to do a fair amount of repeats. Yeah, see how it goes. Alright, so I've got a plan of different things that I'm going to try out on the road. They're all just going to be, this is just like a first time trying this chung method stuff, so I'm just going to do some like basic positional changes, and it's about seeing if I can get like good repeatability of the method, like good reproducibility between runs, and like see if I can even see any difference between making changes. So start out with my standard position, which is like what I've been working to all season. Then I'm actually gonna I'll do a shorter reach position. So might want to experiment with going shorter on the bike. So kind of move the forearms onto the pads rather than the elbows, and that would have my thumbs cover the shifters rather than my whole hand covering the shifter. And then some riders ride with like a stacked hands position. I don't know if this is something I'd even want to do in terms of comfort, but it's something to try out. I could try this stacked hands position, so like my right hand covering both shifters, and I'd be able to shift with both hands just because it's Di2, and then the left hand on top. And then just for sanity, I could try and get like as aero as possible on the base bars, like going for, I mean it's quite a low stack, but like trying to maintain a similar sort of head position and get like vertical forearms, like your aero hoods position, like you'd get on a road bike, and see how much less aerodynamic this is compared to being in the actual extensions. Another thing's going to be head position, so I'll try riding in my standard position, so I'm always like trying to get the tail of the helmet touching my back, but I can like see over the top of my hands. Then I'm going to try a more aggressive head position, so like this sort of thing. It's not like a heads down position, but I don't have the visibility. Like my hands are in the center of vision. I can see decently in front of me, but it's like either side of my hands. But see what this position tests like. So this is like my normal position, trying to have the tail touching, but I could be lower. And then like a more head up position when you're like fatiguing, but even when I'm doing this, I'm like trying to have the tail touching. So see what the difference is between the tail touching and like just not touching, I guess, or like kind of like my normal position versus my normal position touching. So like see what if I can see a difference between like trying to make the tail of the helmet touch my back, or if like having that detachment doesn't really matter. So I got like four different head position runs. That'll make for 8 things that I want to test. 8 triplicates of a 2k out and back. So it's an out and back 2k in triplicate, so 24, so 48k. So I'll be out for like 2 hours doing this testing, and it might not tell me anything. But it's learning how to get that reproducibility and see if I can get some meaningful data from it at some point. Because this is just learning how to do it, basically. I might learn a little bit, I might learn if the head positions make much of a difference, but it's mainly just getting the hang of the testing method. The main issue with this suit is like the wrinkling around I mean it fits pretty well, but like there's wrinkling around like the shoulders and the arms, especially when I'm like in position. So yeah, it doesn't fit the best, and I guess there is room of loose fabric like around the hips and on the legs, so yeah, it could be the case that a medium fits me better. Hi guys, it's Friday and I'm going to get out and do some aero testing since the wind's not too bad. 8 mile an hour headwind on the way out for the west segment and then tailwind for the east segment. So yeah, we're just going to get out to the segment, do some repeats and see if I can get some meaningful data. Got a plan of like all the parameters and how to control them. And I think it should be about 27 runs, but I'm going to be aware of traffic. Like if I get I mean it's a very quiet stretch of road, but if I get a run where let's say like 2 cars overtake me, and I notice that the run's 2 seconds quicker, then I'll probably repeat that run. So yeah, it might be like 30 runs or so. But yeah, we'll get out there and see. Should be good fun because like, yeah, I think doing this in the field testing is going to be really valuable for me when I'm making changes on the TT bike and getting out in the field and seeing if they're actually making differences. Like my speed plate pedals just arrived today, so and it's looking like there might be some low wind days this week and end of this week and next week. So maybe I could get out and do some testing with seeing how the stack height affects my CDA. Right, out of the segment now. Let's see how this goes. All ready to do my aero test, and I brought out that blue bag. I had 2 bottles in it, and I had my saddle bag with my spares in it. I just left it on the side of the road because I'm not doing it for the aero test. Good job I had my phone in my back pocket, because within doing 3 tests back and forth, just trying to get the hang of the route. So I was gone for 10, 12 minutes tops. Someone's stolen my bag. It's like, what? Who in their right mind has done that? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Chatted to the 2 local pubs and the house I left it out, and the guy came out of the house I left it outside of because I like checked up his driveway and in his bin. It's like 10 minutes. It's like a super quiet area. It's like, and someone swiped my bag. I don't get it. Like, obviously it's just ruined my day because I'm planning on being out here for 2 hours plus doing aero testing, and if I don't have any sugar water and water, like, I'm not going to be able to do that, am I? Like, just good nothing of value was in there, like 30 quid worth of stuff in my saddle bag that I'll need to replace, but it happens. Never even used my CO2 inflators and CO2s. Like, I packed it was the same with my old saddle bag that I lost last year. Oh my god, it just pissed me off low. Like, that's just so fucking stupid and annoying. Can't believe that. I'm never doing that again. Well, of course I'm going to do aero testing, but I'll have to drive out in the car from now on and leave my stuff locked in the car because I can't trust people, man. This is ridiculous. Oh well, go home and get out on the road bike for 2 hours, but fucking, that's just ruined my day, man. I can't lie, that's really upset me. Yeah, probably like 2 hours of preparation last night, 2 hours this morning, and then just some dickhead who was just looking for, probably just thought there was like a phone or some tech in there. It's like, oh, I'll swipe this, and there's nothing of value in there, but it's ruined my day. Like, actually, fuck it. I'm not gonna let that get me down. I'm gonna, as long as the wind's still looking normal, I'm gonna drive out in the car and go do my testing. But lock my sugar bottle in the car because someone might fucking take it. Yeah, I might as well just have a crack at the testing today, but drive out in the car and leave stuff locked in the car. Fucking hell, man. What dickhead. Back now, see if we have some better luck this time. Fuck's sake. Bashed out my 2 hours of testing, so it's like 2 hours, 20 minutes, so with 20 minutes of rest, just cracked on with it. So I'd do like 4 runs, come back to the car, take a sip of sugar water, a big swig of sugar water, then get back out on the road. So yeah, I wasn't messing around. Did have a chat to David because he was taking the dog out for a walk, but yeah, other than that, I was cracking on with it. It's quite cold. I mean, wind felt consistent. I mean, it's light wind for what we normally get out here because it's so exposed. But it's still relatively windy. So it's like a big headwind on the way out, tailwind on the way back. So I was doing like 30k, roughly 30k an hour up into a headwind, uphill, about 310 to 320 watts typically. And then on the tailwind downhill, I was aiming for like 250, but it was like 250 to 270. going like started off slow, started off at 20, and then you just kept picking up speed, and I was going like 55k an hour through the finish. So yeah, we'll see what the data looks like. So what I do is, initially did three runs of like my standard position, I'd say. Then I did a triplicate run of changing the reach, so move the hand, so like forearms resting on the pads and my thumbs covering the shifters rather than my whole hand. Did that in triplicate, and then did another run of the baseline. So I do a variable change in triplicate, then I'd run another baseline after each one of those, just to check conditions really. Next variable I did like the stacked hand, so like my right hand was covering both the shifters, and then my left hand was on top of my hand. Then I did another baseline run. Then I did on the base bars, so like trying to hold a similar back and head position to what I do in my baseline, but rather than being in the extensions, I'd be on the drops. But it was like a very aero drops positions, like very vertical, horizontal forearms, like an aero hoods position you'd aim for on the road bike, basically. And like being diligent with my head position. And so I did that in triplicate. Then I did another run of baseline. Then I moved on to doing some like pure head position changes. So I did like an aggressive head position. My power ended up creeping up on these ones. What the fuck are you doing? Guy was almost about to fucking hit me in my parked car. I did that indoor showcase of like, this is the position I'd aim for. I was not in that position. It just isn't safe just to have that lack of visibility over the hands. I need a little bit of visibility over the hands. So I did test like a more aggressive head position, but I was getting a little bit of visibility. I was getting more visibility over the hands, and I was like lifting my head back to like the baseline position every few seconds, just to improve my sighting of the road. I feel like that data probably wasn't very good, just because I like got a bit too serious. That's probably what I'm like during a time trial, where I'm trying to get the head lower, dip it in, but then I'm also like bobbing up to scout the road. I did like a relaxed head position, then I did in triplicate, then I did a baseline, then I did like my relaxed head position, so my head up, but then like tipping the helmet back so that the tail of the helmet was making contact with my back, as if my head lifts. That's what I try and do. I try and get the helmet still to be making contact. So yeah, some good runs, and I'll have a look at the data and see if there's anything useful I can glean from it, but maybe not. It's a very short out and back. It's like a 1 minute. It's like a 1 minute 40 segment on the way out, 1 minute 9 on the way back, roughly. So yeah, not very long, but we'll see if we can get some data from it. Hey guys, it's Saturday. Just coming to the end of a 3-hour zone 2 ride today. Absolutely knackered this morning. Obviously I was in the gym again yesterday, third session of the week, and going pretty hard in the gym, like under control, like not 100% capacity, like going to be building up over the next few weeks, but yeah, still heavy sets of deadlifts in the legs and a couple of heavy sets of squats. So yeah, it's not surprising that I'm pretty wiped out. Yeah, lovely day. So I still got out for my zone 2, and like, yeah, I wasn't feeling amazing, but you know, got it done. So yeah, head home now and chill out. Hey guys, it's Sunday. Just a 3-hour ride today, but I'm doing a 40-minute threshold effort. The session I did on Wednesday was initially intended to be a 40-minute threshold effort, but broke it down to 2x20 because of forgetting to turn the fan on. So I'll make sure I do that. It's very humid today, but and the core body temperature sensor's working. It hasn't gone up to 40 degrees during my warm-up, and I'm like, okay. Didn't bother with the ice vest again, and core body temperature is decently under control, but if anything, like the ice vest is a psychological thing, that I'm like maximising cooling as much as possible, and the pros do it, so there's obviously science behind it. It obviously does reduce the onset of your that rise in core body temperature. Just finishing on my warm up now, and then I'll be cracking on with a 40-minute threshold effort, like 360 watts or so. Just see what the legs are definitely feeling a lot better than they were on Wednesday. Starting to get used to the gym volume, as my first big gym session back on Monday was like bloody hell. DOMs for a couple of days for sure. Watching the European Road Race Championships while I'm on the server. Matthew's just attacking constantly because there's a good chance he'll come to a sprint finish because it's not too decisive a parkour, so I'm just like initiating like break after break after break. What a beast.
The team cars getting bottles like Pascal Eekhoorn is doing right now before we hit that final cobble sector.
Decided to press on to the top of the Alp, so it's like a 46-minute threshold effort. Not amazing power, not amazing legs, but yeah, nice and under control. It's just a threshold session. It's not maximal, you know. So yeah, hopefully bumping the fitness a little bit. It's been a hard few days, so it's not surprising the legs are pretty tired. So rest day tomorrow, and then planning on doing a Zwift Academy workout on Tuesday, so hopefully rest up well tomorrow and then good form for that. Planning on doing workout 6 on Tuesday, so that's a 10-minute max effort, and then I think like a 8-minute rest or something, and then a 2-minute max effort, so proper power profiling test again. And yeah, see how the legs feel, see if we can produce some good power PBs, especially the 2-minute. I really struggle on my 2-minute effort, so see how the 10-minute goes, and then give it all I got on the 2. Finish off the end of the Euro Road Race Champs as well. Actually finished doing a little bit of analysis of my CDA testing that I did on Friday. Yeah, even though it's like a short out and back segment and it's still quite exposed out there, always quite windy. Like there's something to be seen in the results really, and it's seeing the expected trends, like going to a deliberately slower position, and I am able to see that CDA decrease, and then comparing that CDA to the baseline runs and seeing it's slower than my baseline position. So that's good to see that, like the relaxed head position and being in the base bars, that's clearly slower than the baseline position. And then stuff like having the tail of the helmet touching rather than just a relaxed position, seeing that was looks to be as fast as baseline. And same with aggressive head position, but those ones where it's things I'd cue, like if my head was rising, make sure the tail of the helmet's touching, and then also trying to tuck in the head when possible. Those are the things I'd cue, but it's hard to see meaningful changes in the results just because like the resolution isn't very high, to be honest, which is to be expected with this out and back. But yeah, and one of the things I noticed is the discrepancy with power. So my power wasn't super bang on as it definitely could be. Like typically in the range of 310 to 325 watts, and if I could get all my runs to just be bang on, like let's say I pick 340 watts and just every single run is exactly the same, that would be much better. Same with like having the initial speed of the run being the same, standardized. But I think that would come with practice, getting used to doing multiple repeats and being consistent between them. Yeah, so just like picking through the data, seeing if there's any outliers, and like trying to understand the outliers. So if it's like a better CDA, it's like okay, the initial speed was higher for that run. That explains why the performance was inflated, sort of thing, and stuff like that. Potentially, your shorter reach could be something to explore further, which kind of aligns with my thinking of like the position that Paul and Liam get into, and knowing how fast they are. Like being very compact, and or just like evolving what my current thinking has been for the time trial position stuff. So yeah, probably do some more of this at some point, and yeah, it's just interesting to see really.